the electric power steering tweaked to make it keener to change direction, and even the driver aids have got a bit more of a sense of humour.
I'm enjoying this shift as well. Maybe it's not quite as world class as the gear shift you get in a Porsche Cayman or Honda Civic Type R. Oh, that's about as good as manuals get. But it's a nice one, and they've actually done some really nerdy stuff too. There's 3 different weights of gear lever that Toyota tried for this car. They started off with, I think it was 68 grams, then they went to 130, then they went for a 200 gram gear lever, because that gave a higher quality shift. That is Gordon Murray levels of geekery when it comes to ensuring you have a nice feeling shift. And I'm here for that. So this is only a very quick first impression. Of course, we'll spend more time in this manual Supra in the months and years to come. But yeah, I've driven a few Supras, never been convinced, but I've enjoyed this one more than any Supra I've driven so far. The standard 3-litre car just didn't get on with. Tried the 2-litre, and yes, it takes some weight out of the nose, but it's hardly night and day better. But some tweaks, some just choice changes, and crucially, letting me DIY my own gears with a stick shift as Supras go. This is an enjoyable one.
The Supra's been improved then, but we'll have to wait until we're not on a baking hot Spanish racetrack to be completely sure. Now, what about its little brother?
Much as I love my job, there are some cars that you find yourself really looking forward to, and this is definitely one of them. The successor to the Toyota GT86, the back-to-basics rear-wheel drive sports car. This is the new Toyota GR86. Right, welcome inside. Now, all GR86s that are coming to the UK, pretty well kitted out. There's LED lights all round, there's a reversing camera at the back, and then what have we got in here? Look, there's keyless start, cruise control, heated seats. You can plug your phone in down here, and that gives you Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in the screen, which is great because it means you don't have to use Toyota's interface. And the rest of it, well, got buttons and switches for my dual zone climate control. I like that. All sorts of readouts in the new digital display, which looks cooler than it did in the old GT86. Anything that hasn't really taken a step on is, yeah, it's this, isn't it? It's the materials. Doesn't feel like an expensive car. Crucially, it isn't an expensive car. It's not supposed to be an Audi TT inside. That's why I don't mind that all these buttons down here look like they're made of Lego, because this costs under 30 grand. When it went on sale at 29,995 for the one kitted out spec in the UK, Toyota sold out all of its GR86s for Brits for 2 years in an hour and a half. Just proves that there is so much demand for back-to-basic sports cars out there. You've just got to price them where people can reach them.
In the back, Toyota says there's room for 4 spare
All right,
tyres
here we
if you
go.
flip the seats down. So that's handy if you go into a track day. But if you have the seats up, then there's really not any room for even children. Still, if you're trying to talk yourself into one, the GR86 is practical enough for a sports coupe. But what really matters is how it goes, stops and steers.
Now that's the sound.
Wait
of
for this
a
fucking
engine, a flat 4.
game to download.
It's the successor, of course, to the GT86, a previous Top Gear car of the year. A car we liked for bringing rear-wheel drive kind of back to the masses. But it wasn't perfect. And one of its chief flaws, being a co-developed car with Subaru, was that its flat 4 Subaru engine, very low centre of gravity, purist, normally aspirated, all very honourable, but just didn't have much torque. Made it feel like you were thrashing the car the whole time. So for this second generation car, if you like, the GR86, well, they've kept that purist philosophy. They've not put in the GR Yaris's turbocharged engine, but they've bored this engine out, 2.4 litres now. So there you go, look, left it in third and it picked up. We're now up to about 184 pounds-feet of torque. It's not going to punt you up the road like some sort of turbo hybrid electric nutter, but it can now slightly get out of its own way. And look, if you put the power on in the middle of a corner, you can kick the tail out properly, even in the dry when your tyres are hot.
Basically, it's fun without going insane speeds. The The GR86 is a second quicker from 0 to 60 than the old GT86, and it will do 140 miles an hour, but there's no car you can imagine that's less about the numbers.
So this new GR86 will do 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds. You can have an automatic, which is slightly slower, but with all that power going to the rear wheels, if you are medically able, please go for the manual. It's a cracker. Really nice. Doesn't feel as notchy as I remember the old GT86 feeling. But there is obviously some familiarity here. We're in similar kind of suspension settings. The body is obviously very similar dimensions as well, although we're ever so slightly lower, and apparently you sit a bit lower as well. But yeah, the driving experience feels like the GT did, but every little bit has been made a little bit better.
If you're sick of the hypercar power wars and classic cars with values rising faster than fuel prices, this is the machine you've been waiting for. It's just a pity it's sold out so fast, and it's only going to be on sale for a couple of years in the UK.
If you're thinking, also sounds a bit meatier than it did before, there's some interesting stuff going on there that you might not like. You see, in the GT86, there was a pipe coming off the engine that was just designed to sort of burp engine noise into your face. The problem is that did make the car quite unrefined on the motorway. So what
do they say about this fucking sports car?
The engine noise through the speakers. Now that means coming to the UK, pretty well kitted out. There's LED lights all round. There's a reversing camera.
I really like
back,
this car.
And then what have we got in here? Look, there's keyless start, cruise control, heated seats. You can plug your phone in down here, and that gives you Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in the screen, which is great because it means you don't have to use Toyota's interface. And the rest of it, well, got buttons and switches for my dual zone climate control. I like that. There's all sorts of readouts in the new digital display, which looks cooler than it did in the old GT86. Only thing that hasn't really taken a step on is, yeah, it's this, isn't it? It's the materials. Doesn't feel like an expensive car. Crucially, it isn't an expensive car. It's not supposed to be an Audi TT inside. That's why I don't mind that all these buttons down here look like they're made of Lego, because this
I'm waiting for this Red Dead to download.
When it went on sale at $29,995 for the one kitted out spec in the UK, Toyota sold out all of its GR86s for Brits for 2 years in an hour and a half. Just proves that there is so much demand for back to basic sports cars out there. You've just got to price them where people can reach them.
In the back, Toyota says there's room for 4 spare tyres if you flip the seats down, so that's handy if you go into a track day. But if you have the seats up, then there's really not any room for even children. Still, if you're trying to talk yourself into one, the GR86 is practical enough for a sports coupe. But what really matters is how it goes, stops and steers.
Now that's the sound of a Boxster engine, a flat 4.
Sounds nice.
It's the successor, of course, to the GT86, a previous Top Gear Car of the Year. A car we liked for bringing rear-wheel drive kind of back to the masses. But it wasn't perfect. And one of its chief flaws, being a co-developed car with Subaru, was that its flat 4 Subaru engine, very low centre of gravity, purist, normally aspirated, all very honourable, but just didn't have much torque.
Yep.
Made it feel like you were thrashing the car the whole time. So for this second generation car, if you like, the GR86, well, they've kept that purist philosophy. They've not put in the GR Yaris's turbocharged engine, but they've bored this engine out, 2.4 litres now. So there you go, look, left it in third and it picked up. We're now up to about 184 pounds-feet of torque. It's not going to punt you up the road like some sort of turbo hybrid electric nutter, but it can now slightly get out of its own way. And look, if you put the power on in the middle of a corner, you can kick the tail out properly, even in the dry when your tyres are hot.
Basically, it's fun without going insane speeds. The GR86 is a second quicker from 0 to 60 than the old GT86, and it will do 140 miles an hour, but there's no car you can imagine that's less about the numbers.
So this new GR86 will do 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds. You can have an automatic, which is slightly slower, but with all that power going to the rear wheels, if you are medically able, please go for the manual. It's a cracker. Really nice. Doesn't feel as notchy as I remember the old GT86 feeling. But there is obviously some familiarity here. We're in similar kind of suspension settings.
Problem is the power's
The
not that
body
good.
is obviously very similar dimensions as well, although we're ever so slightly lower, and apparently you sit a bit lower as well. But yeah, the driving experience feels like the GT did, but every little bit has been made a little bit better.
If you're sick of the hypercar power wars and classic cars with values rising faster than fuel prices, this is the machine you've been waiting for. It's just a pity it's sold out so fast, and it's only going to be on sale for a couple of years in the UK.
If you're thinking, also sounds a bit meaty than it did before, there's some interesting stuff going on there that you might not like. You see, in the GT86, there was a pipe coming off the engine that was just designed to sort of burp engine noise into your face. The problem is that did make the car quite unrefined on the motorway, so what they've done this time is they've piped
Made it
the
better.
engine noise through the speakers. Now that means you can have more engine noise when you're hooning into the red line, but when you say cruising on the motorway, they can turn it down. Maybe that's not quite as authentic and
You can have your engine noise through the fucking
I
speakers?
don't know.
Why would you do
Sports
that?
cars are
Why?
becoming a bit of a last chance saloon at the moment. They're not going to be around forever, and especially ones with rear drive manual gearboxes and all the purist stuff that people love to get ever so choked up about. So makes a half decent noise, doesn't sound that antisocial, there's no fake pops and bangs. Yeah, I'm enjoying the noise. I'm enjoying all of it, to be honest with you.
Since we're on the track, I've got the stability control in the track setting, so the car's nice and playful and it's super approachable.
What's nice as well is that I'd never driven the new GR86 before this morning. I'd also never driven this circuit.
looks fun.
I've jumped into it, and within a lap and a half, you get the traction control off, and you just start having a laugh. I feel like you could get into this 10 minutes after you passed your driving test, and you would fundamentally understand what makes sports cars a joy to drive. Or you could put a Formula One world champion in here, and they would appreciate the natural sense of balance and how involved you as the driver feel chucking this little sports car around. If you want more punch, then now go and have a Supra, because it's now got a manual. It now feels
Okay, yeah, but a Supra is
a bit
freaking
more
60
tied
grand,
down.
70 grand.
But for me, at 30 grand, this is so much fun, and there's no gimmicks. There's no drift mode. There's no sort of extra settings. Okay, I can have a G meter on my dashboard, but that's about it. Fundamentally, what's fun in here is the handling. So, although I'm supposed to have gone to the pit lane now, I'm going to keep going until they tell me to come in. Corner, it doesn't take up much space on the road, so you've got lots of lift. The speed at which the car gives you feedback, it all matches in here. It's just really cohesive, and that makes it enjoyable, and it gives you confidence. On the road is where you really notice that extra mid-range torque. Okay, it's only 184 pounds-feet. This is by no means some sort of, tugboat that could pull oak trees over. But it does the job, and you stay on the boil that much easier than in the GT86, where at about there's not too many modes and different support around the shoulders, around the hips. They're fantastic. Proper sports cars should have proper seats. You can check that box for the GR. And then it just comes back to the price at 300 quid a month, or just under 30 grand for the RRP. I'm glad that they didn't swathe it in leather and
You guys have asked us many questions about this car, so we thought we'd do another video pretty quick just to share not only driving it in the winter, which we actually do have here in Park City, but also what it's like to live with just in this first 1,000 miles.
And podcast.
Manufacturers don't do that. We have to encourage that by buying these cars. So right away, that took all of the front-wheel drive hatches off the list. Why the 86 over the BRZ? A few things. We haven't actually driven the BRZ yet. We know they're very similar. They're pretty much clones of each other with minor changes. We preferred this color and this front end over the BRZ.
No blue.
Plus, since we'd actually driven this one and not the BRZ, we got the
Blues,
commodity.
that just
There's
no.
only
or
one
the
other
red.
car on the market that has this recipe that is brand new and currently made, and it's the Miata.
Why not the Miata? Well,
Come on,
they don't
hurry up,
fit.
Red
That's
Dead.
the biggest problem.
You're
You could
downloaded
say,
already.
what about the Supra 2.0? Now that's interesting because
30%.
this is very similar to that car now, except of course that one's turbo. Well, the Supra's not offered in manual transmission yet. We hope it will be. It isn't yet.
Why? That'd be dumb. Have a
This
Supra.
is the sweet spot for sports car ownership. And because of
No
price,
manual.
we could go bigger. We could go Supra, we could go Z.
Should we have picked the Z? Couldn't tell you. Haven't driven it yet. Maybe, but we wanted
I really
to
like
encourage
those
this
370Zs,
platform because
but
it's so light, 2,800 pounds.
they're only
is
two-seater.
rare.
Porsche makes the Cayman, of course. It's very expensive. Used Caymans are the sweet spot though, and we need to drive this against a Cayman. This just seemed to be the friendly, livable, aspirational, and worry-free car that we could do everything with.
A few things to know. Let's see. Yes, we're driving in the snow. I'm doing 70 miles an hour right now in top gear. That means the RPM is 3,000 RPM. I'm getting a current miles per gallon of 33. Okay. There have been a lot of ergonomic questions. Many of you have asked a lot of things about the interior. Does it do the 86 animation on startup? Yeah, it still does. Do I miss the gauges? A little bit, but does it keep me from liking the car? No. There's a lot of information available on this dash now, and it feels integrated in a way that the refresh of the first gen just felt tacked on. If you're a big guy like us, I'm 6'3", so is Paul, you might find that you wish the wheel telescoped for the perfect placement. I'm about 95% to the exact place I want to be in. I wish the wheel came back just a tiny bit further, but okay. Somebody out there was angry because there's no armrest. Yeah, there is. This new center console closes up, and when it does, ergonomically, your left elbow is on the door, your right elbow is on the center armrest. It has a perfectly acceptable armrest. The ergonomics are great. These seats were well designed in the first gen. I think they're every bit as good in this generation. They actually hold me really well, and I find them very is about 5'4". My wife is about 5'4". Worked great. The three of us could go somewhere all the time. Happening.
If you're interested in learning manual transmission, the shifter, the entire linkage has been redesigned so things are a little bit smoother. There's no mystery. Whether you're upshifting or downshifting, you can feel what the clutch is doing first and then understanding how much throttle to feed. First gear, I'm stopped, no gas.
I don't
I
need
can
that.
feel
Come
right
on,
where
show
that
me
bite
what the
is,
power is.
and the car won't die. Conversely, I can understand with my right foot what that linkage does, and as soon as I feel the bite with my left foot, feed in the throttle and you're away.
There's been some discussion of rev hang. What it does is it rolls off when you take your foot off the gas. So if you are sloppy or if your feet are slow, and I'm guilty of both, then it'll sound like there's rev hang sometimes, but it doesn't just linger like a lot of little hatchbacks will on the Civic.
For someone learning on a manual transmission, and actually what's become pretty common for many cars, is hill assist, and use your handbrake. So you
I hate that hill
says,
assist.
For the first 1,000 miles, do not take your engine over 4,000 RPM. When a car gets built, it's held in a special area with a fire suppression system. So on startup, your car has probably already been redlined by the manufacturer. How does that make you feel? All that to say is, we're just driving it. Yeah, we haven't abused it, but we're not staying under 4
Band, except for
like the first generation. Sure, you could.
the wheels and the attitude of the car will change.
This
When you get a really bad weather day, they are
certainly to visit our friends at Mark Miller Toyota because of the engine noise.
Here's the in-cabin noise. I'm in third at 4,000 RPM. That gives you an idea of what the in-cabin noise is like with the speaker that we are headed to the dealer to get turned off. There's no problems with the car. We're just kind of testing the dealer.
Why would you?
Guess who now makes two front-engined, rear-wheel drive sports cars?
Hey everybody, today is a momentous day because I'm
Mods cable ties, which you can get from aligned. When it comes to the tips, Put on the clamps, but then keep them loose so you can
I
adjust
really
them.
like these Golf
Using a
Rs.
can means you can get a straight edge with the rear bar of your car and get them looking exactly as you like them.
So the exhaust is done. That was a relatively quick process. As always with the Milltek stuff, it bolts on really nicely, really cleanly. All I've got to do now is just do a proper measure up to make sure all the tips are perfectly correct, leveled, looking great. But for now, let's drop it down, let's have a listen, see what it sounds like.
That sounds nice. I really like these Golf Rs.
It looks so much better than the factory one. It sounds better as well. Performance benefit, like we often say, even with a car like a Forester or a WRX, if you put a full exhaust on there, you're probably going to need a tune to activate any of the benefits of that, because the car's going to have certain thresholds that it's trying to hit to try and maintain its power and warranty and all sorts of other things. So performance benefit, that one's uncertain, but certainly once there is a tune and when there's a full exhaust system available, guys, and they are going to that black. Cool. Well, I said these kind of chromy mirror caps. Now it turns out, I didn't know this,
Ugly
even
as
though I've
fuck.
owned a whole lot of Golfs. Apparently that is like a signature look of Golf R stuff. And now the three colours you can get of this car, which is blue, white and black, they come with these chrome mirror caps. I don't love it. So I was gonna either wrap them or paint them. And then I realised that there's probably other people that don't like them either, and you can actually buy mirror caps. So I got these off the internet from overseas. This is a genuine Volkswagen mirror cap, I hope. I haven't even unwrapped it yet, but I hope that's what it is. That is gloss black. It's got the little cutout here because this is kind of some, when you're driving along, it lets you know whether there's cars next to you or not. So that there is a genuine Volkswagen gloss black item, and that there is going to go on there. Now, this is not like one of those eBay carbon fibre things that you just stick over the top. This is actually a replacement. To replace these, you need to actually kind of punch the mirror out. And by punch the mirror out, I mean you've got to get your fingers in behind the glass and just pull it, and it's attached with a kind of a, it's attached with a couple of clips that do break. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do now. He lets us use his tyre changing machine. Ribs underneath it. We're actually squashing the air into these channels. I'm a massive fan of the fanciest version of the Golf R.
Coating the rest of the vehicle, so it's
Car is done and it looks absolutely amazing. The guys spent a lot of time making sure it was perfect and they have smashed it out of the park. I'm so happy with the result, and to be honest, I actually didn't think it would be possible to make a car look this good when it was already
Pretty
brand
badass,
new,
though.
and now it's also properly protected. I'm so happy with all of the mods on.
That was there for a couple of days. You're coming with me. Let's go next.
Turbocharged engine connected to a 7-speed flappy paddle gearbox and clever all-wheel drive, then all draped in this trademark blue paint. For 40,000 quid, welcome to the most powerful road-going Golf ever made. What does it look like? It's a bit of a poke in the eye so far as Golfs go. I mean, even the hot ones used to be subtle, but this one, double-decker wing, big diffuser, quad exhausts, blue brake cab. Curb weight is 1,500. How fast is it?
That's what I want.
Okay, let's get scientific on your R. This is quite complicated to set up actually. Let's imagine you've just pulled up at your red light and you're ready to go. First, into sport mode on the gearbox. That's simple enough. Then hit the R button on the steering wheel. We're in race mode, good.
Look at that.
But the Golf R won't allow me to activate its launch control until we turn the ESC off. And that really couldn't be simpler, could it? First, we have to dive into the vehicle menu in the touchscreen. And then through a variety of sub-menus and spinning around this graphic of a Golf that isn't even a proper Golf R, we get to brakes and then ESC system. Of course, the lights won't have gone green yet. Activated, and finally ESC Sport is, it tells me, off on the dashboard. Launch control, eh? What a genius invention. Anyway, foot hard down on the brake, nail the throttle, launch control active, 4,000 RPM, go! Wow!
That's badass.
What a rocket ship! Okay, that's 60 already, that's taken no time at all. It really squats down as it sets off. I think that helps the Golf R's traction. Slurs the changes through. I mean, we only need a 0 to 100 time, but I'm curious. Got a bit of straight to use up. That's 130, 135. Come on, show me 140, it's there. 145.
Wow.
150 indicated, and I'm gonna brake. That's enough for me. That's enough. Brakes are really good, actually. It's super stable.
150.
That later. I apologise for being a wuss. According to the spec sheet, the Golf R should hit 62 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds. How fast was it? My goodness. 0 to 60, I've had to read that again. I couldn't believe my eyes. 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. That's 0.4 seconds quicker than Volkswagen claims. And we haven't got any tyre warmers here. We've got no glue sprayed on the surface. It's 14 degrees outside. It's pretty mild. Okay, it's dry, but 4.3 in a Golf, 0 to 100 miles an hour. Again, 10.3
almost a 10-second car.
7 seconds. It's
0 to 100, I mean, 10
absolutely
seconds. That's
uncanny.
fucking
And a
fast.
quarter mile, again, 12.81 seconds. That's potty at 110.8 miles an hour. There's a lot of conspiracy theories on the internet, and I'm not normally one for conspiracy theories, but people are saying they don't believe this Golf R has just 320 horsepower as claimed. They're saying it's more. And after those numbers, I can believe it.
Oh, if it has more, that's even better. Fuck it.
What's it like on a motorway? This is where the Golf R just morphs back into a Golf. 70 miles an hour, 2,000 RPM. It's perfectly normal. There's no sense whatsoever that this is a car that, with a few prods of a touchscreen, could absolutely take a Porsche Cayman's trousers down. Right, so we know it's decent on a British motorway. What about a German motorway? Top lane, here we go. Yep, I'm pretty confident that Volkswagen spent some time developing the Golf R on an Autobahn, because here we are coming up towards 140 miles an hour. That's twice the legal limit on a motorway in Britain, and it feels like I'm barely stretching its legs. And because this one has the performance pack, it switches off the 155 mile an hour limiter and keeps going all the way to 168 in a Golf.
Fast.
Perfectly stable. It's a really good, fast cruiser. What's the gimmick? Yes, the latest Golf R's real party trick is drift mode. And no, as you'd expect, it's not as simple as just smashing a big button marked drift with a smiley face and then looking out the side window. First, you have to spend 2,000 quid on something called the R Performance Pack. This doesn't actually change any hardware under the skin, it just gives you a few new lines of code that unlock a Nürburgring setting in here, and the drift mode, which tells the car to lob power at the outside rear wheel and kick the back end out. And I'm not sure the car really wants you to drift. I mean, look at this disclaimer here. The drift driving profile is intended solely for private roads or racetracks. It should only be used by someone with appropriate driving skills. Are you really sure you want to activate drift? Yes, activate. We've got a slightly damp surface. I think we've given the car all the help we possibly could. Let's see what happens. So, build up a bit of speed, turn in hard, foot hard down. Back comes round, and then as soon as you catch it, it thinks, whoa, I think he's losing control. As soon as I put the left-hand steering in there, it felt like the car was thinking, oh, I think he's losing control, I better catch it for him. Strange, let's have a go again. It's strange, yes, you do get a slight drift, slightly longer on there, but the second you start to feel like the superhero, it's like the car's saying, I think I better take over here, sunshine. Weirdly, even when you put the Golf R in drift mode, the stability control is still on. A slight admission perhaps it's for people with more ambition than talent. Drift mode gives you a drift, bit of understeer there. It gives you a drift, but it doesn't give you the kind of super duper hero power slide
that you might have been expecting.
Come on, hurry up and down low.
Once you've dived back into the touchscreen and fully turned the ESC off, it's much happier to skid.
Right, I tell you what, one more attempt, no tyre mercy. Just how big a drift will this Golf R really do? Oh, there we go, that's the biggest one yet, and I think we'll call that a day.
Does it sound any good?
Not really.
Why is it?
Pre-owned cars, so definitely check them out. So in today's video, this vehicle is around $20,000. And if you look at a brand new Golf R, they are around twice the cost. So while this is about a decade old, what do you get for buying a Golf R for half the price? That is a really cool way to look at it. Half price Golf R right here. So we're gonna drive it and see if it still offers a really fun driving dynamic. Obviously, this is a really cool looking car. There's a lot of people who love the Golf Rs, especially in the wagon form, which is the only way they come, of course. But I like how this car has always been a cool looking four-door wagon. So taking a quick look at the exterior, this is one of the best colors for the Golf R.
No,
I especially
black.
love these things in blue, and I really love the wheels. I'm giving it more of a timeless design, and I love how the rear end just cuts off like that. I love the way these things look. Coming around the back, black leather on, really nothing to argue with. I think it's a really good blend of everything. If we make our way onto the interior, you do get a full leather interior, black leather on the mission. You cannot argue with a 6-speed. That is always a good way to go. We'll go ahead and take a look at the rear seat space now. This is a pretty practical hatchback. You can fit 3 people back here pretty comfortably. With my foot on the clutch, we'll go ahead and fire it up. So we have a screen right in the center. You can see the navigation icon right here. So a little bit different than what a modern Golf is gonna have. Of course, this is a much smaller screen. This is maybe 4 inches max. The newer one is gonna have the virtual cockpit and a nice big screen right in the center.
That's
probably
badass.
filling up this entire bezel. This car, a little bit dated, of course, but nonetheless, you still get navigation, polars, and just kind of your basic old vehicle. One, and then of course you have a DCT for the automatic version. So in this car, one thing really cool is the visibility. You have such a big windshield, and all the glass around you is really easy to see around. It's a car that you have no blind spots, and I like for this fun turns ahead we'll get to. But as far as the normal driving, like I said, you have some of the technology in it, or mountains or something in this car. This is a car that'll actually do that. The shifting and everything, being a manual, of course, is a lot of fun, but I like how it's easy to drive. I think this could be even a good first manual transmission car. We have a carbon fiber air intake on this one, and that makes some good turbo noises. As far as rolling acceleration go, we'll go back into third, super easy to rev match. I love that little whistle you hear, and it's got some power. And being all-wheel drive, it's a car that really can pack a punch. You give it a little bit of gas, and it starts taking off. Let's see if we can hear any of the exhaust noise with the window down a little bit. That makes some good noises to it for sure. And then as we accelerate up a hill,
That thing freaking.
man, I love how responsive this thing is. That's so cool. And what I've noticed more and more lately, even if a car is 10 years old, that doesn't mean it's like just an old junky car. I'm part of the same company. Seems like they use a really good material. Clutch pedal doesn't weigh anything. Being just a smaller engine, it doesn't need a crazy heavy clutch like you would find in a V8 or something like that. As far as the hand position on the and you're right in front. All right, so what are you gonna lose instead of buying a brand new one, going for one that's half the price, a decade old? Basically, the biggest thing is the technology. Like I said, you're not getting the virtual cockpit, the big navigation screen, all the parking sensors, you know, maybe a 360 camera or something like that. You're, of course, just gonna get a little bit of a dated car from that regards. And what I'm finding, newer and newer cars, it seems to be the selling point of them is the technology that they offer. I think a lot of people nowadays are buying cars based off of the tech. It doesn't really necessarily have to be a better mechanical object. It doesn't have to be that much faster, that much more styled, or anything like that. It just has to have more technology. So if you're okay with pretty normal technology that still is going to get the job done, I don't see you losing out on too much for half the price. Of course, you can upgrade some of the tech. You could probably do a full Android Auto, Apple CarPlay screen in here. You're not going to mess with a virtual cockpit, of course, but you can still get you at least that sort of technology in this car. As far as performance, of course, they are ramping up the performance aspects, the numbers and things like that, so it is faster. But these cars, you can modify them, add different bolt-ons to them, and crank them up to be very, very fast. And you could probably make this just as quick for still a lot cheaper. When you look at the overall design, it's not as styled, I think, as cars progress in the design. They just get a little bit more edgy to make them look like a modern car. And really, it's just our own subjective opinions of what we think is modern. This car still looks really good inside and out. Even with a smaller screen, it doesn't really feel dated or anything like that. It still feels nice and normal and pretty easy to use. So we'll go ahead and get up to some speed. Just got a stop sign real quick. We'll see if this power is still up to date as far as a quick car. Just getting a second gear. Wow. I mean, that's up to 60 something really quick. You're not gonna not have fun in a car like this. And the price point, $20 car on a smaller budget, $20,000 for this car, I don't really see any complaints with it. It's fun to drive, it looks, wow. The speed climbs way more than I'm expecting. I think things like that, we do have normal cruise control, so the radar is gonna be, budget is, if you
The
can't
new one's
justify
fucking
the extra
sick.
money well into the 40s to get into the R on the brand new market, I don't think you're going to be disappointed with a car like this. But if you find a good one, definitely snag one up, because I think it's a hard car to
Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Volkswagen in North Tampa for a very good reason. It's this car right here. All-wheel drive, that 4Motion in the Golf R. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been waiting for this review. I've looked at Type Rs. I'm really, really digging the overall style of trim. More blue ambient lighting, which is great. You have a spot here for some Twizzlers. Those are for the Type R owners and all the STI owners that get sad when you beat them at the autocross event. You do have your start-stop button. I like the flat black, no fingerprints. It's kind of weird seeing this little nub, but this is how you control the 7-speed DCT, that DSG transmission. I wish they would have done something a little sexier, but it does free up the amount of space here. Of course, we're going to be bringing to you that 6-speed manual very, very soon. You got 2 cup holders. Here's your key fob. You do have manual. What I advise doing is keeping a mirror in this top pocket here. This way your passenger can look at themselves and, you know, say, hey, I love you. Because if you can't love yourself, awesome, and the shifts are freaking faster than you could even think. Like, you think it, it's already shifted. It was awesome.
God, those
Space, a little less room
40
than
grand
the
though.
GTI. This is Golf R. Of course, I have it in the Nürburgring mode. It's so cool to say that. We're gonna come to a complete stop and we're gonna go on throttle. Are you ready? I'm ready. On throttle, yeah! The launch control is awesome.
That's automatic.
I'm telling you, the really gets the back to pivot. but you are gripping. Jeez, you are gripping. Headlight, it starts to flash yellow and then get into the red. And then, of course, just the feedback that you're getting, the way that this car communicates. There used to be so much push in the corners with the Mark 7.5. It just understeered. This thing grips. It really drives more like an Audi. And Chris is a lucky guy to be able to have this. And just so you know, Chris had a GTI 7.5 and wound up trading in for this Golf R. So the guy's a Volkswagen fan, and he's been able to see the changes and the transitions with how they've got to this point. All right, guys, one more time for you. Definitely one more time for me. On throttle. God. Love it.
Golf R. First 2020. Golf R. Let's see the difference. Old versus that's what I want to see.
Than the old car, and that of course is Paul, our race car driver. So Paul, what are we going to do with these two cars?
Well, I think we'll put them through the usual testing procedures, and so we'll try a drag race and see how the horsepower difference versus the weight difference kind of plays out between the generations.
All right, Paul. Now keep in mind that I've got a stage 1 tune on this Mark 6.
Does that mean you're going to give me a head start?
No, it doesn't mean I'm getting a head start. It just means I've got supposedly 300 horsepower, kind of like yours.
But your car weighs like 150 pounds less.
Yes, but I weigh 150 pounds more.
You're not wrong.
All right, let's see. Let's do this, dude.
Hold it right there, guys. I bet you weren't expecting this, but TFL is going to be talking about knives, specifically kitchen knives, specifically these knives. At the Fast Lane Car is we cut a car.
Now this white car is a Mark 6 Golf R. We just bought it for about $18,000 and it's got about 80,000 miles on it. But under the hood is basically the first version of that engine. It's an E8 888 and it puts out about 256 horsepower, but this car is special. Yep, it's got a stage 1 tune, so now it's putting out about 300 horsepower.
All right, now under the hood of the 8th generation Golf R, we have the same EA 888 engine, but the horsepower now is up to 315 horsepower, and the torque is either 280 with the 6-speed manual that we have in this car, or 295 if you get the DSG option.
Hey Paul, what the hell's going on with this engine? It's naked.
I think we know why they tend to cover engines with plastic covers, which ours is now missing. And I'm speculating we got the lightweight Club Sport version here, Roman. This is good.
Ready? I bogged. Oh, come on! Well, we know which one's faster.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know. You might want to talk to those guys about that stage 1 tune you got there.
You know, I mean, you got off the line quicker, but I was kind of keeping up with you. All right, well.
That was fun, but you know what? Let's find out which of these two is quicker around the track, right? That's really what it's all about.
You drag. So I actually got to go on the launch of that.
Ah, let's see this. That's an Audi?
You can bang into the limiter as well, it gives you a little thud. It's moving around then. Right folks, welcome back to another video. It's a good day today. One, because it's sunny, and two, because I'm sitting in a brand new RS3 8Y launch edition. And to the right of me, we've got a Mark 8 Golf R. So yes, we are doing a comparison video. We'll take them on some country.
That Audi RS3 looks fucking sick.
Now I know some people are going to be saying, hold on, the rival to a Mark 8 Golf R is an S3. Now I feel like the S3 in the 8Y generation has kind of lost its way, because this thing has stuff like drift mode and the Magna rear diff, which this also shares. But yeah, I think what we'll do, we'll begin with this first because there's a lot to talk about here. Now starting around the front, as mentioned, this thing has got matrix LED headlights, so you get the little RS3 illumination when you turn them on. They are standard on the launch edition. Very aggressive black fascia here. We've also got these slats which are reminiscent of the old Sport Quattro. Now on the 8Y, both the Saloon and the Sportback, as far as I know, share the same front end. The 8V was different because the Saloon had a sort of normal sort of front arch, whereas the Sportback was very pumped up. We've got this little feature vent here as well. Basically the launch edition comes with most extras that you'd want, and you can also get red brake calipers on it, which you can't on any of the other configurations. Very limited here in the UK. We've got two 6.530s on the front, and at the rear we've got two 4.535s. It's also finished in Camorra grey, which is now the closest thing you can get to Nardo as a standard colour. Nardo's gone back to being a Audi exclusive colour as far as I know. Black mirrors, panoramic roof, on the launch edition, and also a Vorsprung. You can't get in any other configuration or spec it as one. RS Sports exhaust, aggressive diffuser. Yeah, this is almost as if the whole side of the car is swollen. So you've got black leather with this honeycomb style effect, typical RS Audi. Same in the rear as well. We've also got a rear armrest which is come with the driver assistance package, and is also same with the Vorsprung as well. If you've got a carbon edition, I'm pretty sure you can get the flat bottom, and the normal standard edition that I drove before, I've just left this bit out, but you'll see in a second with the Mark 8 that's kind of the same theme with that. But I am glad that Audi kept a ton of physical buttons here. Everything you need is accessible. Paddle shifters are new as well. I suppose they have given us a little RS badge there to make us happy, and we have got an RS button. But yeah, let's turn this thing on. Let's just move this a bit forward slightly so we can get out the way of that glare. Yeah, shout out to that tree over there doing the job. And there we go, hydraulic bonnet strut. The reason I mentioned that, yeah, so we've got a DNWC engine, 400 PS, and we also got 500 Nm of torque. It's essentially very similar to the one I had in my old car, so not really much to note. The torque comes in a bit earlier. On the road it does feel very quick, and is noticeably quicker than the old one mid-range, and these brakes are new as well. Right, so the Mark 8 Golf R, nice to revisit this thing. I haven't driven it since the review, and I did a review on this when I first bought the Mark 7 GTI, so that gives you an idea of how long it's been. This thing has a performance pack and all the fancy extras, even has a Krapovic exhaust. This exhaust alone is around £3,000, so very highly spec'd car. And that nicely brings us on to the whole kind of price topic. A lot of people have been complaining about the 8Y being like £70,000-80,000. I don't know what's going on there. The list price of these RS3s are nowhere near that. This thing being a launch edition, the list price was £56,900. So in my opinion, very reasonable in a car of today's era with that much performance and those looks. This car spec'd up was just over £50,000, so you've got a 6 or 7 grand difference. And in this, we've got a whole extra cylinder. Now obviously those cars are selling above list, but they're nowhere near £80,000 like I've seen some people saying. But yeah, the Mark 8, there we go. This car's done 15,000 miles now, so properly running. My friend definitely does enjoy his cars. He had the Mark 7 Golf R, which I reviewed at the start of the channel, so yeah, he continues the theme. Black leather interior, these are an optional extra. They're heated and cooled. Very futuristic cabin. Obviously Volkswagen have taken a totally different approach to the 8Y, and they've tried to go almost 2-3 generations ahead rather than evolving it slightly. He has also changed his tyres to Pilot Sport 4S's. The car comes from factory with Goodyear Eagle F1 Super Sports. Obviously bigger brakes compared to the Mark 7, new caliper design. I personally do quite like the way the Mark 8 looks, especially when it's spec'd this way. Yes, granted it does cost quite a lot of money, but yeah, when they depreciate in a few years time, it'd be nice to pick one up. Carbon effect kind of trim, just like the other car over there. Now there are a few similarities here. I've just noticed This area down here, apologies about the dirt, as I said, it is actively used. It's just as plasticky as the 8Y. Nice pulsating start button.
Yo!
Comfort, Sport, Race. Now in Race we've got the drift mode. Volkswagen doesn't mind, they just call it what it is. And we've got Nürburgring mode, which was very cool when I last drove it. It's a very aggressive car when it's in this mode, but it's still also very supple. It's a lovely way they've tuned it. And yeah, the dash just goes all green. This is going to be a very Mark 8 shot here, so look at this. Off to the left. Oh, there we go. Right, let me just turn it off because that EA AAA makes a fair bit of a racket. Nothing new there. Okay, so Deja Vu. This is the Gen 4 variant of the EA 888 though. Engine oil caps in a different location. We'll get this kind of cushion for an engine cover that they now give us off. Right, so this thing's putting out around 320 PS, around 80 PS down on the RS3. I am by no means comparing this thing to the 5-cylinder engine though. This is more a comparison of just how both cars drive back to back, and then potentially being more than just a combination of their figures. But yeah, we have got an all new turbocharger from Continental. I am quite looking forward to seeing the tuning scene on this thing once they're all opened up. A few people in Germany have tuned these cars, but on the grand kind of tuning scene, let's say, people haven't really got any mapped Golf Rs out there. Most of the people are running like aftermarket kind of tuning boxes. Interestingly with this though, compared to the other EA 888s, we've got a bunch of Audi stickers everywhere. One there, one there. It says 06K. Makes sense because the 5-cylinder is 07K, so there's been a
We're in Ontario's wine country, Niagara-on-the-Lake.
We're with Volkswagen, and we've got
Fun, agile, all of that, but it isn't huge in the back seat. I will say in its favor, though, that the cushion on the seat is really quite good.
And I like the practicality of a hatch. Although it doesn't have a ton of space in the second row or in the cargo area, it's very convenient and it's versatile.
And it's a dying category.
Yeah.
Like, cars are being replaced by SUVs, and the fact that this thing still exists is fantastic. A hot hatch, practical, loaded up with all the features, so good for Volkswagen for staying true.
The Golf R gets an 8-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, and it sounds quite good.
Please just stick with Fender. They have Beats, they have Harman Kardon, they have Fender in their SUVs and cars. I like the Fender the best. It's the better one in my opinion. All right, lots of questions on this. Of course, it's a hot hatch. Let's get at it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Any word on whether VW will be bringing back the Spectrum custom colors for the Golf R? For those who don't know what Spectrum is, it was kind of dubbed that name. It's a custom paint that you were able to get. There were a lot of different colors. Not anymore. The Golf R only comes in blue, black, and white.
And it's interesting because the Spectrum color that I had in the previous Golf R was purple. Here's some images of it. People went nuts for that color.
Wow.
They loved it. And if you want attention, drive a purple Golf R, but not any longer.
No. What's better, the Golf R or the BMW M235 240 two-door?
Very different cars.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a two-door small car, rear-wheel bias. This is a hatchback, more practical, less expensive.
Yeah, for sure. And I also think that the BMW has a firmer suspension, heavier steering, and I think some people really like that. I like that, but I feel that this Golf R will appeal to a broader range of people.
The 2 Series in the BMW line.
315 horsepower sounds exciting. How does it handle torque steer?
Okay, this is a bit involved. So it's got
Let's see. Golf or sell. Out in Lebanon. Fucking go there and grab one. Near me. Where's Carfax? I want the fucking... Golf R 2022. I bet you these things are through the roof. There is none. There we go. Look at that. 53. That's fucking insane, dude. 62,000. What a fucking joke. The car should not be that much.
Like this. Obviously you've got microtransactions, but I made a Red Dead Online review. You can go watch that for my opinion on that stuff. Due to the length, it feels like almost every character gets plenty of screen time, fleshing out their characters and giving them something to do. The gang element is so important. Naturally, pacing issues will become a thing as the hours go by, especially since it's an open world game where distractions are around every corner. But that's also a double-edged sword, which I will mention in the gameplay section. Chapter 3 in particular feels very stretched out, as you spend most of your time doing errands for two different families, only for it to go pretty much nowhere, except to push you into a new area that I won't spoil, so it felt like those two families were wasted and there wasn't much depth put into them without spoiling too much. Chapter 6 also loses a lot of that focus that was built up over the 4 previous chapters. Naturally, everything has to come to a close, but it really felt like things just happened to close stories, or because they needed characters to end up like how they were in the original Red Dead Redemption. Yes, I know Red Dead Revolver is a thing, but most people don't, so I'm just going to call Red Dead Redemption the original. Chapter 5 was also very confusing. It wasn't bad, but it didn't really feel like it needed to be there. I think cutting that entire chapter would have helped some of the pacing issues, as it just felt so forced and rushed to me. Nothing of note really happened. Care and precision, creating some of the most repetitive. There really is not much you can do about really solid gameplay, but this game for most people will require about 50 hours of playtime to do the story and some of the side content, so as great as the gameplay is, it's gonna get repetitive. There really is not much you can do about that when the game is nearly 50 hours long. The open world is jam-packed with content and people to interact with. You can go and greet the AI, chill with them, or intimidate and piss them off. You can go fishing, hunting, bounty hunting, raid houses and do jobs for gang members, among many other things, many of which I still haven't experienced, and I've put at least 100 hours into Red Dead 2 with multiple playthroughs. Gunplay is really good but feels aged. You take cover, peek and shoot, and that's the loot. It's the ragdoll physics that really sell it for me. Nothing is quite as entertaining than shooting the guy in the leg, walking over, picking him up, throwing him down on a hill, and then shooting him with a shotgun to the face because you're really fucked up in the head. It's beautifully messed up, especially due to the ridiculous detail that Rockstar have put in to make this system as good as it is. AI is pretty good overall. They duck, run, and attempt to flank you most of the time, which does spice up the gameplay loop, but most of the time you will be fine due to the weird health and stamina system. The AI throughout the open world is bloody fantastic though. This is exactly what I mean when I criticize AI in various other open world games. Usually there's more, but it's empty, but Rockstar did it perfectly. Everyone can be interacted with like actual people. This is what open worlds are all about, interactivity in the little details. It's a truly phenomenal world. For some reason, Rockstar was adamant about giving you various items that essentially make you invincible for a short period of time, and that really kills any difficulty or tension they might have created in scenarios where you didn't have access to those items. I recommend not using any of the tonics or anything like that, as it does kill most of the enjoyment and the immersive factor, and felt really unnecessary, but I do appreciate Rockstar trying something new, but I just don't think it worked particularly well here. For me, you can like get food and stuff like that to fill your cores up, but I'm talking about specifically the ones that give you upgrade buffs. Literally, you could take like 15 shots and you'll be fine. It just kind of kills it for me. Unfortunately, not much has changed since Red Dead 1. It is essentially the same game with better graphics that are so realistic that they have horse balls that shrink due to the weather. Shout out to the developer who made that. I'm sorry you had to. Well, maybe you enjoyed it. I don't know. I don't judge. Maybe you're into horses. I don't know. But it's horse balls that shrink during the winter. It's mad. Well, in the mountains anyway. I will say that I do feel like Deadeye was downgraded. In the original, Deadeye felt really awesome to use and the gore effects were so satisfying to look at, but here it does feel like a cheat code to me. I just turned it on in most fights because it was just too cool not to use, but made a lot of shootouts too easy once again, especially because of those tonics. If you can take one of those tonics, you can pretty much have unlimited Deadeye and just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. It kind of kills any sort of difficulty you may have with it, and there's no difficulty levels, there's no easy, medium, hard or anything like that. It's all based on how you choose to use these tonics and stuff like that. Main missions are really damn good, but like I said, Rockstar's gameplay is getting outdated, and you can see that with the main missions. They're really restrictive and irritating when you want to try something more creative or interesting. Rockstar's desperation to pull off set pieces and have you experience tailor-made moments is exactly what this kind of game doesn't need. It can have a few, and don't get me wrong, Rockstar didn't jam-pack the story with epic set piece moments or anything like that, but it's just the main missions in general are so restrictive in this beautiful world they've made. It's just, I don't know why they do it. The open world is so good, but the main missions desperately pull you away from it, forcing you into linear levels inside the open world, which often results in a mission fail if you walk too far from the wagon you just spent 5 minutes riding on, listening to expository dialogue making you want to blow your brains out sometimes. I just wish main missions worked with the world and not against it. I guess that's the best way to sum that up. Naked Jakey made a bloody brilliant video on Rockstar's gameplay and why it's become age. It's got like 9 million views now or something. I really think Rockstar does need to innovate again, and that's a great video on it. As beautiful as Red Dead 2 is, the gameplay needs to change at some point because it's just getting stale. I personally love the loot, but even I'm starting to feel that loss of innovation. Graphics can only do so much. Weapon variety is pretty lacking as well, but honestly it makes sense. Sure, it would be nice to have more weapons, but for the time period it just wouldn't make a lot of sense to have loads and loads of guns. The guns you do get access to feel great to use, whether you choose your trusty revolver or pump action shotgun. Every weapon feels powerful as they should and make the gameplay loop ever so satisfying. So let's talk customization and more in the open world section. Customization is fantastic. You can change your outfits, hair length and styles, your beard or lack thereof, your weight changes, your weapons degrade, your clothes get wet and dirty, among many other details. It's ridiculous. Red Dead 2 is so far ahead of any game in this industry. It's simply breathtaking, and I mean that with no Keanu meme. It's fucking scary how detailed this game really is. The AI, as I mentioned earlier in the open world, is truly a benchmark in the industry. Everyone is able to react to the player and the player can interact with them with different dialogues and actions. People go about their lives, working, robbing and dying, and that goes for the camp too. This is not some Ubisoft false advertisement where they go to sleep every now and then. These people really work. You see them building houses over the course of the game. It's amazing. The camp mechanics are great for character and getting missions, but the actual camp mechanic where you invest money to make it better really just doesn't work. Nothing really happens other than unlocking the ability to craft some items, which really disappointed me, but honestly, you'd probably want to spend your money on other things like guns. Speaking of guns customization is pretty good. Not quite the level of GTA or other games that fully rely on your customization ability, but the details of those small customizations are amazing and once again pretty scary. Graphically, it's basically next gen. It's beautiful and still better looking than some next gen games and is way more varied. You got cities, you got forests, you got mountains, you got everything. Side missions are pretty great as well and pretty memorable. They all have their own little mini stories, I guess you could say, and there's quite a few of them. And you also have random events that happen in the world that don't really have story attached to them, but they're pretty cool. You can also play checkers, poker, etc, etc. There really is too much to talk about for a video that I want to keep short. I mean, we're nearly half... This video so far from what I've recorded is half an hour long, so I need to cut this down. Guys, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. If you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, it's on sale right now. Go buy it and experience it. This really is the benchmark for open world games, but held back by aging gunplay and linear missions. If you didn't enjoy the game and you've already played it and you're watching this, let everyone know your opinion so they can get a fair assumption from other people other than me. And guys, as I always say, watch other reviews, don't rely just on me. I haven't even talked about the actors' performances, the soundtrack, as well as the various activities that I just don't have time to talk about. It's a great package, so go grab it. Thank you for watching.
Next month marks 1 year since Rockstar has dropped any kind of update for Red Dead Online. But would any kind of update actually help the status of the game? Would it keep Red Dead Online alive? I hate to say it, the answer is no. The only thing that will keep Red Dead alive is you, the community. Today we're going to take a look at how the same thing has helped keep GTA alive. Not Rockstar, the community. And how that scenario is starting to happen over here in Red Dead. Grab a coffee, get your bean stew. Cowpoke, it's time to get serious. Server. That is right, it's absolutely fantastic. And today we're going to be talking about why that may be the future for Red Dead and all the players. Not because of Rockstar and what they have not done in the last year, but because of players like you, players like me, players that love this game, building a community and doing what we want to do. So let's dive right into it. Today we're going to be talking about how the community of GTA is what's been keeping GTA alive. If you look over on Twitch right now, you can see that GTA 5 or GTA Online, or more in retrospect, if you take a closer look, 5M is actually one of the top games viewed on Twitch daily. And it did not get there because Rockstar dropped the Cayo Perico heist or the casino heist or any other update for that matter. First, let's take a look at this graph we have here. This is the full trending data for GTA in Twitch viewership from November 2016 all the way up until current day. You can see a couple trends here. You can see that GTA was a fairly okay viewed game for a couple years here, sitting around, 10,000 to 20,000 viewers on a monthly basis. And then something happened in February 2019 where it actually quadrupled, and it wasn't a spike and then dropped back down, actually quadrupled and stayed at that level. Viewership quadrupled and it stayed at that level. We have a couple of spikes that roam up and down, and then again another massive spike in January of 2021 where we have a massive spike, and then after the settlement we have a double viewership from then on out for the year of 2021 and so far in 2022. So you would think that with this data, well, you'd be like, well, Rockstar probably dropped a big old update during that time, right? I mean, that's what I thought. That's what I thought indeed. If we take a look at the actual update data and how it lays over the top of this, you can see that the first few updates of GTA, Super Sport, After Hours, Arena Wars, all happened early on in the infancy of Twitch versus GTA. Nothing happened during this spike here. Nothing. February 2019, no update at all. We had Arena Wars back in December. No big change there, and nothing here. We also had the Casino Resort update, which was actually, I've heard, one of the biggest updates. That was everyone got in a new month of that for GTA in Twitch is because of 5M. And if we take a look at the dates when some big things have happened in 5M, one of the largest those viewerships for GTA. Now you ask, why does this even matter? Why do we care that the viewership went up and that it was actually because of not even anything Rockstar did? Well, Rockstar takes all the credit, right? It was kind of young then. Maybe there's one. Let's take a look. Our first data string here is just all the data for Red Dead. Blanket, all data. Of course, we have a massive spike back in October of 2018. We all know what happened then, right? Yeah, the game launched. We got a couple more spikes there, but we've stayed pretty low. Red Dead has not had the viewership at all a GTA has had. It kind of looks like GTA did during the first couple years. Now let's take a closer look at what Red Dead actually looks like. Here we have Red Dead's data from when it launched until now. We also have the updates involved as well. So of course we know that in October we had massive amount of anticipation for this game. And that's when the game came out, October 2018. Then, died off very quickly and very sharply, as you could see. Barely any viewership at all for the rest of 2019. Until September, October 2019, we see a spike go up. We all know what happened then. The first and the biggest update to ever drop in Red Dead Online. Frontier Pursuits. Nice spike, huge drop off because it was underwhelming. No one really cared. No replayability. Viewership definitely wasn't there. So everybody moved on. We had the Moonshiner a couple months later. No spike there. Then we had the Naturalist show up in August of 2020. Nothing there at all. Just nice and flat. We had the Prestigious Bounty Hunter come in December of 2020. Nothing there. Then we had our last update, literally almost an entire year ago, of Blood Money. Blood Money update. We had a small spike there, but then back down to normal. Red Dead has stayed pretty consistent over the last 18 to 24 months of about 2,500 to 3,000 people watching. Now, if we zoom in a bit and take a closer look, you can see these graphs. We'll take away everything before Frontier Pursuits because we're just looking at how popularity of Red Dead Online looks. So we have Frontier Pursuits here, Moonshiner, Naturalist, Prestigious Bounty, and Blood Money. No big spikes like we saw over on GTA. No big spikes at all anyway. Now, we do have a small anomaly a few months ago, and viewers looks a little more like this. Now, this allows us to see that there really hasn't been too many major spikes at all. We've stayed pretty consistent throughout Naturalist, throughout Prestigious Bounty Hunter, and watched the viewership average go up every single month consistently. And it looks like so far when June's data comes in, we'll see the same thing. So what the heck has caused this? Rockstar sure hasn't done anything. We've been in monthly drip feed, not even drip feed, just monthly bonuses the entire year. Rockstar hasn't done anything at all. What is actually starting to cause this? Well, you guessed it. It's the RP equivalent of 5M, Red M. One of the biggest innovations in Red M actually came out in August of 2021. That was what they call OneSync. It allows there to be hundreds of players on the same server in different instance lobbies. So you can go from Valentine, where there's 30 players roaming around, and cruise over to Rhodes and become part of that server and never actually leave the server and just go from place to place and be around up to 32 people at a time and multiple people on the server at once. If we take a look at the current GTA servers that are huge in the United States, you can see there are a dozen over 100 people in them right now. 250 people, 243 people, 220 people, 191 people, all in the same server. There are even bigger servers worldwide that GTA handles with up to 1,000 people in the same server. With this coming to Red M, it's allowed servers to start to handle this amount of people. If you take a look right now, the largest server in Red M right now has 276 people in it. The next one down, 209, 203, 202, 138, 110, 106. Those are servers with dozens and dozens and dozens of people hanging out, having a good time. But that came out back in August. So what's happened over the last 3 months? Well, all of these servers takes time to hone in how all that stuff works. And over the last 3 months, we've seen a sharp increase in the amount of new servers started. Heck, we started our own server. You guys are aware of it. Back earlier in the year, we dropped our alpha for the community, and we've been in our beta for the Dakota River Bend for a few months now. We're still developing stuff and getting everything set up just right and be launching in our full released 1.0 version later this year. But there's been a ton of new servers pop up. Some great developers out there working on making some amazing worlds. And one of the great things about it is there are tons of different kind of servers out there to fit your needs. If we take a look back at the GTA server list, there are servers that focus just on cars, 2,500 free cars, free gangs, fight zombies and players, Grove Street based, 1,000 plus custom cars, 300 plus custom clothing. There is a server out there for literally everybody. Same thing is happening over in Red Dead right now. Right now, we have a lot of serious roleplay servers, but a lot of relaxed stuff's coming out as well. And Dakota River Bend is actually a community-driven immersive server that focuses a lot on the online aspect because most of the developers, well, hence all of the developers, have come over from console. There's even servers that are just straight a mod-induced playground that lets you do literally anything you want with friends. I'm going to say it, this is the beginning of the new for Red Dead. Rockstar has not done anything for this community in over a year, but there are dedicated people out there in this community developing new storylines, new gameplay, new modes, new servers for all of you to enjoy. Of course, yes, you do need to be on PC, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy some of the awesome content by watching people stream it on Twitch or here on YouTube. If you have the means right now to jump into RedM, I highly recommend it if you have not already. If you have still been playing this game for 3 years and you enjoy yourself, definitely take a look. We all loved how immersive story was, and that's exactly what you get on RedM. Immersive story-based gameplay with all your friends to enjoy together. So make sure, if you haven't already, follow the links down in the description to check out RedM, the Dakota River Bend, and other servers as well, because there's definitely something out there for everybody. If you want to check out more of our shenanigans or hullabaloo, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next live stream. I've also put some links to some of my favorite streamers in the description to showcase both the DRB and other servers as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button. Of course, like we said, if you're new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more Red Dead Online content, including tips, tricks, news updates, gameplay, just good old-fashioned fun. That's all the time we have for today. Hope to see you on the prairie sometime, but until then, see you later.
November 2021 marked Red Dead Online's 3rd. Where do I go next? We first need to establish our main goals here in Red Dead Online. Ultimately, we are looking to secure 3 precious resources. We want as much as possible, as quickly as possible, and as easily as possible. Oh, and we want to actually enjoy ourselves while playing the game. It's a lot of fun, so as much as we can help it, we're going to avoid what I'd consider grinding. Our 3 key resources are XP, cash, and gold. We can get XP by playing through missions, completing daily challenges, facing off against other players in the PvP modes, the list goes on. For the sake of a beginner, we're only going to be focusing on a small number of XP gains available to buy at a shop. While many of these goodies are cosmetic, others are very useful and have actual gameplay implications. How do you buy those goodies? With cash, of course. Like XP, there are a number of different ways to collect cash, but today we'll only look at the methods that get you over the beginner hump. Luckily, like XP, cash is also fairly easy to come by during the early game. As long as you follow today's video, you really shouldn't ever run into isn't too much of a grind and comes naturally as you play through the game at a normal pace. We'll definitely get into the best methods you'll need gold to unlock each of the game's 5 roles. After main story missions, the roles are the star of the show in Red Dead Online, and honestly they're a ton of fun. Thankfully, getting enough gold to pay for your first 2 roles isn't too much of a grind and comes naturally as you play through the game at a normal pace. We'll definitely get into the best methods for collecting as much gold as possible, as quickly as possible, as well as whether or not it's worth spending real money, and a lot of the us to buy one of the best horses in the game. That number will also give us enough disposable income to spend freely on smaller items we'll always need, like health boosters, stamina boosters, or ammo. Finally, when it comes to our rank, there's really no super important rank we need to hit today. The most I was at rank 12, saved about $766, and had 4.45 gold bars. So about halfway through our cash goal, but only a third of the way through our gold goal. After completing those main story missions, you should be getting a good feel for the game, not to mention a decent amount of resources in your pocket. Next, we're going to head to Saint Denis to unlock the Blood Money missions. Blood Money crime missions work much like the Stranger missions that are playable by speaking to the NPCs indicated by these orange icons on the map. Only difference is, these Blood Money missions are in 3 parts. There's a fun little structure here, and I personally have more fun with them than the regular old Stranger missions. Best of all, they pay out in cash, XP, and gold, so we can continue to edge closer and closer to our goal. There are 6 of these 3-parters, which means 18 missions, and a similar amount Stranger missions, anything that have been heavily nerfed compared to how they were when the game first launched. Despite this, keeping up with the challenges is still a quick and easy way to collect gold, and every little bit counts when you're just starting out. Full John Ropke Red Dead Online map, an absolutely wonderful resource for any Red Dead Online player. This thing will make your life so much easier. You'll be collecting that daily challenge gold super quick, and getting to learn the map and what could be found where, which is obviously very important if you want to get better at the game. The link to the map could be found in the video description, and we'll be coming back to it time and time again here on the channel. Learn how to use this incredible resource. Trust me. Speaking of maps, we also can't forget about treasure maps. You receive a treasure map every 10 ranks. Unfortunately, the daily challenge payouts have been heavily nerfed compared to how they were when the game first launched. Despite this, keeping up with the challenges is still a quick and easy way to collect gold, and every little bit counts when you're just starting out. Often, at least 1 or 2 of the daily challenges are super easy and should only take a minute or 2 to complete. Then, as time goes on, your gold payout will be multiplied based on how many days in a row you complete challenges. It all adds up surprisingly quickly when you're just starting out. If you need help locating a plant or animal for the purposes of daily challenges, be sure to check out the masterful John Ropke Red Dead Online map, an absolutely wonderful resource for any Red Dead Online player. This thing will make your life so much easier. You'll be collecting that daily challenge gold super quick and getting to learn the map and what could be found where, which is obviously very important if you want to get better at the game. The link to the map could be found in the video description, and we'll be coming back to it time and time again here on the channel. Learn how to use this incredible resource. Trust me. Speaking of maps, we also can't forget about treasure maps. You receive a treasure map every 10 ranks, so you should have 1 or 2 by now if you're following along with the video and leveling up at around the same pace that I am. Treasure maps will spawn a chest at a certain location on the map. Using Eagle Eye, you could find the yellow mist coming from the chest, and inside you'll get a huge cash and gold reward, often more than 1 full nugget. That's huge at this point in the game and should really help you get closer to the 15 gold bar goal. If you're having trouble finding the exact spot that the treasure has spawned, again, I point you to the map. The map shall guide you. Finally, if you're still looking for ways to get gold, may I recommend a newer addition to the game, Call to Arms mode. It's basically a horde mode, which is self-explanatory. Waves of enemies come splashing in, and it's up to you and other players to take them all out. Find a good spot to hide, and pop them in the head with your repeater. Again and again, and again and again and again. It's a pretty time-consuming process, but it's all action. So if you're looking for a more involved way to collect some gold that actually requires a good amount of skill and mastery of the game's combat system, Call to Arms is the way to go. You should have those 15 gold bars by now, but if you're still looking for ways to collect some gold, I'd recommend always keeping an eye on your online menu and the Rockstar Games Twitter and Newswire website. Certain modes will hand out a bonus payout for a limited time, so be sure to read this menu carefully if you're looking to try something different and get some solid gold in the process. So we finally reached the 15 gold bar goal. It's time to head over to Rhodes and purchase our first role, the Bounty Hunter. Now you might be thinking, but I don't want to be a bounty hunter. I want to collect, I want to trade, I want to bootleg shine. Well, hey dude, it's your gold and you could do whatever you want with it. However, I'd personally recommend every beginner start with Bounty Hunter as their first role for one simple reason. Bounty Hunter is the only role that pays out gold when you complete a bounty mission. In other words, it gives us another precious method of collecting gold, which means an easier time collecting the gold needed to purchase the other 4 roles. I'll have a new 2022 Bounty Hunter guide video up shortly after this beginner guide goes live on my channel. Check it out if you want a full deep dive into the role, including what you unlock at each rank, how to maximize role XP and payouts as quickly and easily as possible, and what role items are worth buying. For the purposes of this beginner guide, we're only going to skim over the role and focus on what's most important for beginners. After unlocking the Bounty Hunter, we have another goal, and it might sound a bit familiar. That's right, get 15 gold bars. This is the general Red Dead Online gameplay loop until you've unlocked all of the roles. However, with Bounty Hunter, we can still obey our golden rule. Thou shalt collect gold and progress through the game quickly without resorting to pure grinding. We're able to do so thanks mainly to the legendary bounties. Legendary bounties are more elaborate than regular old bounties, but less elaborate than the...
Alright, it's finally downloaded, and let's get into this fucking shit. About time. Please do not tell me I have to install that, really? I gotta install the fucking... Okay, hold on. I really... Better not take long. Come on, let's go. Oh. Okay. You know, I wish I would have had this on PC when it first came out, but then again, what's the same game as it is now, so I guess it's better. I didn't even have a PC then. Let's get the nifty controller out. Would you yeah. I didn't. Oh, great. I can't believe I remembered my fucking password. What? Touch to roll. Oops. What? Roll. Touch the arrows when the image is correctly up. Okay. I don't know. Oh my god. I don't fucking know my goddamn password. Okay. Forgot password. Because I got 2 fucking thousand passwords. Not answering. Alright, password. Where's you at, password? Fucking everyone calling me. Wow. I don't know what the... I guess I can try. I guess so. Create a new account. What the fuck? Okay, Tom Boom 87. It's kind of stupid. You gotta verify every fucking single time you do anything. Watch, it's gonna say I already have an account. I do not have a fucking account. They make you go through the whole works of this to just get going here. Link this, do that, do this, link this, link to here, link to your email, link to your freaking Instagram. Makes sense. Whatever. Oh, we're in, boys. Ladies and gents. So I've never tried this on PC, so that will be a first for me on the PC. I was always playing this on Xbox. But from what I've heard, it's way better on PC. Why is the screen so small? Why is the screen so small? Subtitles. La 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 la. Mission only. Headphones. Alright, what the fuck? Please tell me I can use it. Oh, I can use my controller, thank God. Alright, this is going to be where it's at. Display. What does that mean? Dynamic. Okay, I don't want to turn that off. I'll just keep defaults. Radar. Okay, back. Graphics. We're going full on fucking death mode. We gotta go full screen. Let's do that right off the rip. you want to keep these changes? How do I do that? How do I? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Enable trip may help improve image stability and slight. Turn that to medium. I don't know what all that shit is. Water. Everything seems fine, right? I think we're fine here. Fahrenheit, pounds. Okay. Audio. I think we're fine. What do you guys think? Camera? We're good to go. We are good to go. Controls. Tap hold, no. Hold to real. Okay, I'm ready to get into this shit. I don't want to go to social club. Story mode. Motherfucking cowboy boom time. Land of laws, huh? I've never actually really read the story of this. Rockstar presents Red Dead. Alright, I've done the first part of this, so I'm gonna skip through a lot of the these intro things. So I've done this. I do want to see something real quick. Just want to see something. I wonder if I have to do story mode to go to, or not have to, but your story mode carries over to your online mode, or if it's completely separate. I do not know.
Okay, Sheriff. Here they are. Tell the Marshal this ain't how we do things here. But I'll oblige him this once. All right. Let's see what we got.
Oh, wow. So I can... You have your own online type of character.
All right, then.
That's
Deputy,
cool.
Would you please? I'm gonna need your details.
That's cool.
You aren't going anywhere, and neither am I. Take the time and get this right.
What am I? White guy, white. Okay.
From what I hear, you ain't leaving us anytime
Pretty
soon.
fucking white. Age, I am not that old. God, I like how they make wrinkles. 34.
We're gonna need a fair record of you.
Athletic. Eye color. Brown.
Tell me everything except that you're innocent. I'd find that hard to believe.
Natural. Neutral.
Quite a record we'll have on you.
What the fuck?
You're lucky you were caught, you know. The way the town feels about what happened, you were likely to be shot.
Okay, the glide. This guy smile?
It's a process, all right, but a necessary one.
Okay, I'm pretty much fucked up.
How you doing with that? Okay then.
Let's see here. We can go that. Beard.
Yep.
Little beard. Lifestyle. Skin mold. Oh man. Minor. Okay. Complex alcoholic. Jesus. Healthy glow. We don't need any of that. We don't need that. Okay. That's it. That's our app. We got that. What do we get a picture going here?
I'll need to see your fingers, palms to you.
Look at that. There I am. What to the base ready to play? Let's play intro. Oh shit, I forgot to turn this. I fucked up. Oh fuck. You guys can't see shit right now.
Jackson! Officer Jackson, move those prisoners! Officer Benton! Kitchens aid staff! Officer Townsend, those rocks ain't gonna break themselves. What are you standing there for? Get moving!
There we go.
What are you looking at? Go on, get moving!
Bad, you guys, you had it, or you guys couldn't even fucking see the game, dude. What the fuck?
And you'll do. You need to perform a work detail out near Blackwater. Come on, get in. Open the gate. Come on, Milliken.
Uh-oh.
Yeah! I tell you what, old Jameson is a wretched, sour old bastard, and no mistake. You lot stay calm in there.
You aren't saying nothing.
Well, you are now. Shut up. You know, my wife has acquired ideas significantly above her station. She's been reading too many goddamn books. Personally, I'm against education. Of women, I mean. And men, I guess. Unnecessary. Doesn't add much to the world. Education.
Good day, gentlemen. Oh, don't do anything stupid. Nobody gets shot. Act like fools, and the pair of you will be dead within a minute. Now, what are your names?
Jenkins and Milliken.
Well, Mr. Jenkins and Mr. Milliken, throw your guns to the ground and get on down here. That's it. Very glad to meet you. It's not worth being rash. You boys get paid a salary. You get that salary whether these people escape or not. Your wives presumably want you alive. Let them out. Now, please. Okay. Okay. You all run away. Aside from you. Try to stay out of trouble. This is a stroke of good fortune for all of you. Use it. Now, Mr. Jenkins and Mr. Milliken, be so kind as to quickly run away before somebody gets shot entirely unnecessarily. Go on, don't look back. Mr. Wendt, I believe it was $50 we agreed on.
It was.
Here's 50 each.
Each?
Yes. Now get out of here, both of you. My employer and I appreciate your professionalism.
All we did was stand there and look tough.
And you did it fantastically well. Good day, gentlemen. Now, sir, how about you pick up these guns and we move out? My mistress is waiting for us. Come along. And you better get on this horse. Been a while since you rode a horse. No shame in that, but please. I'll wait on you. Emergency. That's not much of an animal, but they haven't got far to ride. Get on the horse there. Ready? Wonderful. I hope you'll forgive the secrecy. My employer particularly values discretion. My name is Mr. Horley, by the way. 6 months at Sisika Penitentiary, awaiting a hanging for a murder you did not commit. Must have felt a whole lot longer, my friend. You still seem strong, though. I mean, doesn't look like breaking all those rocks has left you entirely broken, in body or in spirit. I hope I am right about that. Rounding you folks up, and those sham trials, they were a disgrace. Made a mockery of the rule of law. I still can't quite believe they got away with it. There's others convicted when you were, came out breathing fire. Maybe you're like that too. Guess we'll see. Or maybe you just want to put it all behind you, forget you were in there at all. That would be fine, of course, but you will listen to my mistress first. She spent a good sum getting you folks out. You owe her an audience, at least. You've been away for a while, so we'll help you get set up in the world. And if you want to accept our offer, you can. That's more than reasonable. And freedom out on the range can wait a few moments longer, can't it? He's just up here. There's the camp. Hit your horse. Been a while since you saw a hitching post, huh? This way. She's anxious to meet you. Madam, we're back.
Hello. Jessica Leclerc, how do you do? What did you tell him?
Nothing, as we discussed.
Thank you, Horley. I do hope we haven't inconvenienced you dreadfully. But seeing as you were due to be hanged in a week, I'm sure you don't object too strongly. I know you're innocent. Well, not perhaps exactly innocent, but not guilty of what you were accused. I know you and those who were with you that died were little more than patsies, and that you were set up by one of 3 men or a woman Possibly by all of them. I can't be sure. But that is all I know so far.
And one of these people also made Mrs. Leclerc a widow.
And I will avenge my husband's death, so help me God. But I will not avenge it upon men who did not cause it, or caused it unwittingly. Anyway, I'm sure this is all a touch confusing and melodramatic. Where are my manners? Hawley, please show our guests to their tent and give them some fresh clothes to put on.
Very good, madam.
Then serve us both a little refreshment.
Certainly, madam. This way. You'll find a change of clothes in there, alongside a few other items you might need, a lasso, a knife, and a lantern, I believe.
God, I got fucking ugly ass outfits. We're going full cowboy. Look how fucking ugly my guys.
That looks more comfortable. Hawley,
Here, madam.
your very good health. I suppose it beats dying, hmm?
Mrs. Leclerc's husband was murdered by one of his business partners.
And I intend to find out which one. Or rather, I intend for you to find out. And kill them. You're the only person I could possibly trust to do whatever it takes. Because you and your accomplices, you're the only other victims of their lives still alive. You see, you walked into the town at approximately the same time my husband was shot in the back, but by another gun, firing different bullets to those you possessed when you were arrested. These bullets, this was their mistake. You were rounded up and sentenced to death, all because you came to town and didn't talk too much and seemed like you were nasty. Anyway, here they are. The people who run Blackwater.
So who's this I'm gonna
Mr.
fuck up?
Jeremiah Shaw, banker, real estate speculator, and crook. Mr. Amos Lansing, ranch owner, speculator, and crook.
Crook.
Mrs. Grace Lansing, his wife, society patroness, lover of the arts, crook, and my former best friend, Teddy Brown, her disgraced brother.
Teddy Brown,
outlaw,
you're going
haunted
down.
man,
Coming after you,
still in
motherfucker.
contact with them. All I ask of you is your help in finding out quite what happened.
Mrs. Leclerc would like to help you get back on your feet. Get back to work.
Whatever your work may be, I don't judge. You want to rob? Rob. You want to save innocent folk? Do that as well. But you need me just as much as I need you. I think we all understand each other.
I hope we do.
Good. I look forward to rewarding you for killing those who made me a widow. My husband was a true believer in this country and in the West. He was killed for greed. Foul greed when there's quite enough for everybody. I don't care what your scruples are as to killing. I will take the full burden of that sin upon my shoulders. Goodbye, for now.
All right, here we
Then
go.
Hawley, go introduce him to nice Mr. Cripps.
I think you'll like Cripps well enough. Long past his prime, of course, but he hasn't gone entirely crazy just yet. And he will help you, better than most of his ilk. Cripps, get up.
Hello, partner. Hawley.
This is your new boss.
Oh, pleased to meet you, partner. J.B. Cripps at your service.
We'll pay to get your camp established. Mrs. Leclerc is a generous benefactor.
And, where are we headed?
Select for your camp location. Okay.
Oh, sir. While Cripps is establishing your camp, perhaps you can go to the station and see the clerk, then head to see Clay Davies. He's a horse thief and not a terribly nice one. Then meet Cripps back at your camp.
See you shortly, boss.
Good luck.
Okay, now, first up, how come I used to whistle?
I'm sure you're tired.
I got a rinky-dinky fucking horse. A basic fucker. What is this? Okay. Oh. Let's see the map here. Is there like no one in my server? Who's this? Oh, because I'm on the... Let's kill a buffalo. Can we skin this? Oh, that will come in. Well, that'll come in handy later. I'm sorry there, Buff Bison. Fucking killed that guy. Let's just follow the intro here. Let's see what we got.
Whoa!
Shit.
Hello. You must be Harley's friend. He's one of us. He said you also were a discouraged man. I'm very discouraged. Disappointed Alden, that's me. Anyway, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I find your reticence charming. Real charming.
All right.
By the way, I heard you might want to earn a little money.
I'm down. Let's get some fucking money going here.
Robbing our stages, and they are not part of the club, if you catch my meaning. If you can make them go away, I'm sure they will have something of interest to you. They're up in tall trees.
Tall trees.
See what you can do, okay? Here, by the way, a catalog. the latest issue. Just
Oh,
came
nice.
into this armpit from a land more civilized. And if all works out well, my colleagues and I move around these stations as needed. And all of us are very discouraged. We will all help a fellow sufferer with pertinent information. Good afternoon, sir.
Alrighty then. Go to Tall Trees. Alcohol will become accessible when you enter free roam. Okay. I keep doing that. I got a rinky-dinky fucking horse, everyone. That's cool, you can't... Those wild horses? Look at that telephone pole, that's funny. Let's see, do we got in here anything to search? Okay, search for the hideout. Be somewhere in here, obviously. Or is it down here? Oh, I see it up there. Probably not. That'd be a hard jump for a horse. There we go. Maybe over here where the fire is at. Perfect. Gang hideouts may appear across free roam enemies. Okay. just shoot my fucking horse? Shit. Okay, so that's reload. The thing is, I love how I could just fucking loot. God damn. Everything is the looting of this. Got $7. Yeah, it looks like my goddamn bank account.
Okay. Okay. You're good. You're real good, friend.
Oh man, I don't know what I just...
So, be merciful, friend. I know what you're thinking. It's a trick. Let's be here. Take this.
The world will be influenced by your... Spare the bandit to increase your...
Be kind. Don't kill me, please.
Get the fuck out of here, dog. Oops. I should have took the map. Oh, I should have took the map. Did I get the map? You have received a treasure map. Okay. Alright, horsey. No, no, no. What the fuck? Okay. Really? Goddamn fucking horse. Yeah, can't go through bushes. Good to know. I mean, not that you could do it in real life either, but still. Fuck. assuming. What did I get? Oh, I got whole bar some used push. Oh wow. Okay, what now? Let's go this one. Sounds fun. Okay. Okay. So boys.
Ready to go.
What do you get for the girl who has everything?
Looking around, but they
More.
never look up. Their loss.
This is your champion.
Marvelous. So many willing test subjects.
I'm the jump master, so the first round's on you.
I love this part.
Do it.
Yeah.
Where's everyone going here? Alright, boys, we got a team.
We gotta go far. Everyone's landing already earlier than us.
Yep.
I'm going to.
Sounds good.
Going to take a peek over there.
Need a turbo.
Peacekeeper here.
Take that.
Wow, first blood. Imagine crashing and burning on takeoff.
Aren't you sweet? Thank you.
Lucky us, we are already inside the ring.
Do we want to push them?
Yep, yeah, let's get in there while they're...
Go.
Wings out.
Grappling.
Can't tell if they're below or...
They're above right here.
Yep.
Reloading.
What the hell's shooting me?
Someone's been here.
I am taking fire, friends. Recharging shields.
Fly and fly.
There's a guy with
Move. Recharging shields. Throwing thermite. Wings up. Eat a thermite grenade. New kill leader. Then I can have fire. Reloading.
There's another squad on us.
I am taking fire, friends.
Wings up. Reload. Splash one. Bogey down.
On me.
Reloading.
Another
Nice,
squad
boys.
down.
There's more people, I think. Or is that you that landed?
That was me. Well
Yeah, I saw
played.
your turbo.
Well played.
Wings up.
I am repairing myself.
Hold on, I need to heal.
Oh my god, I just canceled my med kit.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 2.
Who's ready to fly on a zipline? I am.
I need to go to sight for my Havoc.
My ultimate's charged and ready to go.
This is looted already. People are here.
Roger.
Where do you want to go?
I don't know, we could just try to listen to see if we hear any firing and we go third party.
It was over here, like far. Like that way far.
More time to loot.
Yeah, see? Oh,
Yeah, we could Valk it right now.
Let's go. Coming to me? Or where are you at? Okay, let's go.
Alert 5, Valkyrie on station, we are go for burn. Burn is a go.
If there's a guy by himself, I'll land on his ass.
As a reminder, this is a non-smoking flight. That includes smoke bombs.
There they are.
Yep.
Go in the building, go in the building. Oh no, it's too late, too late. Take this right here.
Ooh, care package on the way. I like the sound of that.
This isn't looted too.
Open up shop and shut them down.
Oh. They just Valked. They freaking straight up ran. They're going to the other side of this. We could push through here.
Damn, I need to find a turbo. Oh, I think I found? No, boosted. Need a sight and turbo, and I'm good. I got 2 bad.
Turbo. We'll be on the lookout.
Yeah.
New kill leader appointed.
Setting up a zipline.
New kill leader? Interesting.
Wings out.
They are that way.
Jump drive.
I don't see anyone.
There's gunshots over here.
Yeah.
Fuck. Actually, it's kind of close now. People here, people here.
Roger.
My ultimate's charged and ready to go.
Here I go.
Wings up.
Yep,
right here at this bin.
Contact with hostile.
Jump drive in position.
I see him down here. They're up on the hill. They're all going up here. They're going to third party.
Wings out.
Let's go.
Come right up behind all these guys.
Damn, I wish I had an ulti accelerant. Fuck.
They're taking zipline up, boys. They're right here. Get ready.
I'm going right up.
Coming up with you.
They're going up. Yep, yep. Wait for them to jump down and see what they do.
Okay.
Thermite out.
Oh shit! Got the knock.
Nice.
Shit. Move. Fall back.
My thermite. I'm throwing thermite. Resin. That's mine.
Wings up. Recharging shields.
Activating jump. I'm down.
Throwing frag. Wings out. Fox 3, visual clear.
2 knocks.
Bend it down. Charging up my shields.
He's close.
Charging shields.
Shielding. Right here.
Shields on that bandit.
Another one. Nice.
Wings out.
Oh, we just fucked both those teams up.
Hell yeah.
Let's go, boys.
I need more energy.
Replicator incoming.
Let's do some shopping.
All right, hurry. We gotta move. There's gonna be other teams rolling in. Shit. Oh shit.
Just run.
Charging up my shields.
Just back up a little bit. Oh, I see him. He's pushing you. I'm right here.
Taking fire.
take high ground again right here with me. I'm gonna go up.
Yep. I'm gonna heal real quick.
Enemy took one of ours. Just you and me now.
Dude, there's so many fucking people, man.
Wings up.
Fucking need a turbo still.
Opening fire. Fox 3, launching missiles.
I cracked the guy that jumped. The guy that jumped is one shot.
I see him.
Wings out. Hey, who invited the third party?
Zipline deployed.
He's still running.
I hear him, I think.
Wings up.
He's in here?
Charging on my shield.
Yeah,
he's in.
Counting down from 60.
He jumped at me.
Whoa! What the fuck? He was right above me? I didn't even hear him. Oh, right behind you. Two of them. The whole team rotated.
Fuck.
Good shit though, boys. That was fun.
Yeah,
Enemies right here.
Holy shit. What's up, boys?
Wait until you see the world from my point of view.
What do you get for the girl who has everything more? this one.
This is your champion. If I'd flood in the water to a shark like me.
Right here, boys. Let's go over here.
Let's make a varsity play for the deck.
Copy that.
Eyes on the prize.
Oh shit, we got teams beating us. We should go here. Go here, the bridge.
This quadrant out here.
We'll push in. We got, yeah. We'll push into those guys. We'll loot up. They beat us there.
RE45 here.
Hit these buildings and we'll push in.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Already inside.
God damn, you guys are... Okay, I'm on my way over there.
Wings out. Wings up.
Attention. First blood.
First blood. Should have seen that coming.
I'm just gonna loot a bit and then oh shit, I hear people.
I'm on my way.
Firing. Getting shot at. Enemy shield broken. Going to... I've been
Fuck.
down. Just us now. I hope I can count on you.
Attention.
I'm out of heavy ammo. New kill leader? Interesting. Shops open for business.
Box 3. I got radar locked. Throwing thermite. Reloading. Shield on that bandit.
Got a knock.
Bandit down.
Mama's got a bread. Taking
Got one knock, one knock.
squads attacking. Reloading.
Charging on my...
God damn it. We're fighting two different... Why are we're fighting two different teams right now? I was just trying to fight the guys here to get your buddy back. We needed to be together on that.
Only the best for my friends.
Where we're going?
Grapple, locked and loaded.
Seatbelts.
Introducing your champion.
Let's land here. Let's find something good.
do it, boys.
Wings out.
First blood on the enemy.
Beginning ring countdown.
Wings up.
We're not all in the ring. That's how you get cooked.
Oh.
Wings out. Gotta hop up here. Hammer point.
I'll take that. Prepare to line your pockets. My ultimate's ready.
There's a clueless bogey out there. Ultimate accelerant here. Got a bandit in my sights.
Shot a cargo bot.
You're fighting over here, boys.
Jump drive set.
Attention. There is a new kill leader.
Jump drive in position.
Keep eyes on the new kill leader.
Wings up.
Using grapple. Open up shop and shut them down. My favorite kind of group. The kind that's all
Got a knock. Shit, shit, shit. You got where are we not? We're so fucking not grouped.
I'm coming for you.
Can't play with solos. Yeah, that's game. Jesus Christ.
Reloading.
They're rezzing someone. And that's game. Oh, what a fuck. So sad. Do it, boys.
Focus. Fight. Win.
Time to dig up some gold.
From the moment I tasted sky.
Introducing your champion.
You should be careful. 세상은 허무한 것이야.
Jumpmaster Actual. Valkyrie has the ball. I'm calling the ball. Let's land over there.
That is an ideal landing place.
Get high loot, boys. Let's get high loot. Got a crafter there too, replicator.
Hell yeah!
We got teams going. You're ready. Maybe not.
Enemy in the distance.
Take this middle, take control of these fuckers.
Check 6. Bandit touchdown near me.
Attention. First blood.
We got guys here, boys. We gotta take these guys.
Evo shield here. Level 2.
I need a thermite grenade. We're already in the next ring.
I got a shield here on me. Blue shield I just pinged. I only have a P20.
Enemy far. Don't let them slip away.
Shot a cargo bot.
They're right on me.
Taking fire. Wings out.
Shit. Shit, shit, shit.
I shattered an enemy's shield. Had to bind you. Pitiful, allowing themselves to be caught. Throwing frag.
I spy an enemy.
Reloading. Moving here. Find me heavy ammo. Move this way.
Wings up.
Evo shield here. Level 2.
Taking fire.
Knock the gibby, knock the gibby. Push, push, push.
Wings out.
Opening fire. Taking fire. I shattered an enemy's shield. Enemy shield cracked.
Nice, boys.
The entire
Oh, another team here, right here. Or is that the same team? Yep, another team. Pushing up, 2 of them, only two. They're dropping down.
Reload.
Keep it up, boys, handle them. Right here.
Got a bandit.
I'm under fire. Enemy shield cracked. Reloading.
Enemy that way.
You gotta finish that guy and heal up. The other guy's pushing. Here he is, he's right here.
Bogey in my crosshairs.
Alright, another team, they're falling back, another team. Come try to res me, I'm gonna move up here. Fall back, come res me.
I'm the kill leader. I expect you to.
They're fighting another team. I'm good.
Mayday. EMP incoming.
Never mind, they're all here.
I'm out of energy ammo. I'm out of heavy ammo. I shattered an enemy's shield.
We're done.
This will buy.
Can't play with random.
Evo shield here. Level 2. Evo shield here. Level 3.
I don't have a
I will shed blood and honor the All-Father.
I stick.
think they got the dub. My boy got the dub, didn't he? Beto got the dub. Come on, Beto, let's go. This guy goddamn lags.
I got